When we think of consent, we often picture new relationships or first-time encounters. But consent is just as important, if not more so, in long-term relationships. The longer we're with someone, the more we might assume we know how they feel or what they're okay with. But those assumptions can lead to confusion, discomfort, and even harm. In today's video, we're diving deep into some of the most common misunderstandings about consent in long-term relationships. Whether you've been with your partner for months or years, this conversation matters, because healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and consent is a huge part of that. Let's start with the first big misunderstanding. Once you're in a committed relationship, consent is automatic. This belief is widespread, but it's completely false. Just because someone is your partner, spouse, or significant other doesn't mean you always have their consent in any situation. Consent is not a one-time agreement. It doesn't carry over from yesterday into today or from last week into the present moment. Every interaction, emotional, physical, or sexual, requires ongoing consent. Your partner has the right to say yes, no, or not now at any point, regardless of your relationship status. Even in marriage, no one is entitled to the other person's body or emotions without clear, enthusiastic agreement. Another misunderstanding is, you don't need to ask for consent if you've done it before. This is a dangerous assumption. Just because your partner said yes before doesn't mean they will, or should, always say yes. Feelings change, comfort levels shift, external stress, physical health, emotional state, all these things can affect what someone feels okay with. Respecting that means checking in regularly. Consent isn't about routine or habit. It's about ensuring both people are fully and actively on board each time. Assuming previous approval means automatic consent now removes the other person's right to change their mind, and that's not okay. Now let's talk about a subtle, yet harmful myth. If they don't say no, it means yes. This idea has hurt many people, especially in long-term relationships. Silence is not consent. Lack of resistance is not consent. Sometimes, people stay quiet out of fear, exhaustion, or emotional fatigue. They might freeze up, avoid confrontation, or simply not know how to express their discomfort. It's especially common in long-term relationships where power dynamics, history, or emotional dependency are at play. That's why active consent is so important. It means checking in verbally, watching body language, and creating a safe space for open communication. If your partner isn't responding clearly, the responsible thing to do is pause and talk, not assume they're fine with it. Another common misunderstanding is, talking about consent ruins the mood. Actually, the opposite is often true. Communication builds trust, and trust builds comfort. When both partners know they can speak up, say no, or change their mind without being judged or punished, intimacy becomes more genuine and enjoyable. Consent doesn't have to be clinical or awkward. It can be playful, loving, or even flirtatious. Saying things like, "Is this okay?" or "Do you want to keep going?" shows that you care about your partner's experience. That kind of attentiveness isn't a mood killer, it's a mood builder. It deepens connection and shows respect in action. Let's also debunk this myth. Long-term partners should just know each other's boundaries. While it's true that familiarity brings understanding, no one can read minds, not even someone you've been with for years. People grow and change. What someone liked 6 months ago might not feel right now. Assumptions can lead to crossed boundaries and emotional hurt. A healthy relationship involves ongoing conversations about comfort, needs, and limits. Asking your partner how they're feeling or what they need doesn't make you less connected, it makes you more caring and present. It shows you're paying attention and willing to adapt as they evolve. A very serious and often overlooked misunderstanding is, if my partner doesn't complain, then everything's fine. In long-term relationships, people sometimes endure discomfort silently. They may feel obligated, guilty, or too tired to bring it up. Others might fear being dismissed or starting an argument. Just because your partner hasn't spoken up doesn't mean they're okay. That's why it's essential to proactively create a safe environment where both of you can talk about boundaries without fear. Ask questions like, "Is there anything we need to change?" or "How are you feeling about our connection lately?" Encourage honesty and really listen to the answers. Don't wait for problems to be voiced. Prevent them by keeping communication open. Another common myth is, "We've been together for so long, things should be easy now." Yes, comfort can grow in a long-term relationship, but that doesn't mean everything becomes effortless. Consent still requires effort. Complacency can lead to neglect. You might not even realize your partner feels overlooked, pressured, or disconnected if you assume everything is smooth just because you've been together a while. Relationships take work, and part of that work is continuing to ask, check in, and stay emotionally present. Even years in, it's important to be intentional with your partner. Ask how they feel, what they want, and if anything needs to change. That ongoing care is what keeps love and consent alive. Here's another big misconception: if they go along with it, they must be okay. This one is tricky. Sometimes, people go along with something because they feel like they have to. Maybe they don't want to disappoint their partner, or they're trying to avoid conflict. They might not feel ready to say no, or they might not know how. Going along with something is not the same as giving enthusiastic, informed consent. If your partner seems distant, distracted, or emotionally withdrawn, that's a red flag. It's a sign to pause and check in. Real consent feels safe, mutual, and emotionally connected, not like someone's just going through the motions. So what does healthy consent actually look like in a long-term relationship? It looks like open conversations. It sounds like checking in: do you still enjoy this? Is there anything you want to stop or change? It feels like both people having equal say, feeling emotionally safe, and knowing they can speak up at any time. It means respecting your partner's body and mind as fully as you did when you first met, maybe even more so now. Long-term relationships thrive when both people continue to treat each other with care, curiosity, and compassion. And remember, consent isn't just about physical intimacy. It also applies to emotional boundaries, communication styles, and everyday choices. Things like asking before bringing up sensitive topics, respecting alone time, or checking if your partner is emotionally available for a deep conversation. These are all part of consent. It's about recognizing your partner as a full human being with needs, boundaries, and the right to say no in every aspect of the relationship. If you've recognized any of these misunderstandings in your own relationship, that doesn't mean you've failed. It just means there's room to grow. Learning about consent is part of becoming a better partner, and making changes shows maturity and love. Talk to your partner. Reflect on your past interactions. Be honest, vulnerable, and open. It's never too late to improve the way you communicate and connect. Your relationship will be stronger and more fulfilling for it. To wrap up, let's review the key misunderstandings we covered today. 1. Consent is not automatic in a long-term relationship. 2. Past agreement doesn't mean ongoing agreement. 3. Silence is not consent. 4. Talking about consent doesn't kill the mood, it strengthens connection. 5. Even long-term partners can't read each other's minds. 6. Going along with something doesn't mean you're truly okay with it. And 7. Real, ongoing consent is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Thanks for watching. If this video gave you a new perspective on consent in long-term relationships, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on healthy communication and emotional well-being. And if you have thoughts or experiences you want to share, leave a comment below. Your voice could help someone else feel seen. Until next time, stay respectful, stay kind, and always keep the conversation open.